Hey guys, this is a really exciting session here that I'm going to talk about. This one has to do with hybrid children and an abduction, and as far as I'm concerned, an extremely interesting session. I could sit here and describe it as much as I can, but it just doesn't do it justice. You have to listen to this session. It is amazing. I wanted to give you the background though, which is also very cool. So this was one of the first sessions I had back 3 years ago when I was starting to do the QHHT regressions, um, and during the session, the client came over and she said that she had missing time, and that she wanted to find out why when she went on vacation with her girlfriend at 19, why was she all of a sudden she woke up at a different side of the state, so the opposite coast of Florida, where she first fell asleep and she was driving and she didn't understand what happened. So she wanted to know what happened during, she figured it was an abduction. And that's why she had come over to see me. So during that first session, we were able to find out that she had been abducted by Grace, and that she was put in a vat of gel, and that she was being healed in this vat of gel. And we were also were able to see one of her hybrid children, which was on the outside of the vat, just looking at her, and all she could feel was her loving eyes. When I asked her if she could see what was on the ship, she was not able to see anything other than her eyes. So the session ended because she started feeling uncomfortable, and she felt like she was fighting herself to provide the information, and she didn't like that feeling. And so she just kind of finished the session and went home. And about 6 months ago, I just felt this pull that I wanted to know why during the abduction she had not been dropped off in the right place. Why wasn't she dropped off where she was picked up? So we started the session, and I was just blown away. We found out about her 3 hybrid children. We found out what type of uh, alien race they are and what kind of personality they have. We were able to find out why she was dropped off in the wrong place, which come to find out she wasn't. It was that her consciousness didn't get there on time. So once they realized that her consciousness was not in her body, they had to scramble to get her consciousness in her body. Otherwise, she would have died. So it's just a super compelling, truly one of the most amazing sessions I've ever had. And I wanted to make sure that I share this out there, because if there are any of you out there that have the same question in your mind, do I have hybrid children? Was I abducted? Do you have missing time? I'm here to help. So my information, as always, going to healingthepasttherapy.com, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can. And looking forward to getting your feedback on this session. It was truly amazing. Thank you, and namaste. So let's bring up this energy. Let's bring up this energy that's there in this area. And let's talk to this energy. I want you to bring it up to the surface and talk to it. Is this something?
I want you to get out of my body. I don't need blocks. I need to open up. Get rid of that energy. I want it to just go away. Go up and out through my mouth. And just dissipate.
Okay? I want you to reach out to that energy. Try to reach out to that energy and see what comes to mind. Does it have a name? If you ask if it has a name, does it have a name?
Keep getting a D name like Damien or something. Or it just seems like a dark energy.
Okay. So I want you to come up. I want this dark energy to come up and talk to me, please. Talk to me and tell me your name. What is your name?
Damien.
Damien. Damien, are you a male or female?
Male.
How old are you, Damien?
17.
Damien, why are you in Sharon's body?
I create fear. And I make her stop.
Why did you attach to her?
I was there and she was open to it.
What happened to you? How did you die?
In a plane wreck.
Okay. And why do you feel like you need to be creating fear in her?
She needed to stop what she was doing.
What was she doing?
She's talking and she keeps talking. The man puts his hands around her throat. She has to stop talking.
And why do you believe she needs to stop talking?
For self-preservation.
Well, you know that everyone has a beautiful spark of white light in them. This is Source, God Source. Can you look inside, Damien? Look inside yourself and your spirit. Can you see that beautiful spark of light?
Yes.
I want you to take that beautiful light and make it so, 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 so big, so big, so big that it encompasses your entire body. And I want you to feel the love that our Creator has for you. Do you feel this beautiful love, Damien?
Yes.
Damien, would you love to go see your family now?
Okay.
I want you to give, Archangel Michael is here to take your hand and take you to your family. And I want you to leave Sharon's body right now with Archangel Michael as he takes you to the love and light of our Creator. Do you see Archangel Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Will you please take his hand?
Okay.
And now go with him.
Okay.
May the peace of the God and Creator be with you. And now I want Sharon to fill this void with pure, loving light, pink light. And just fill this area with pink light. How does this area feel now?
Much better.
And I want to scan your body. I want to make sure that we have everything and everyone. And as you scan your body, do you feel any other energies that do not belong to you?
No.
Okay. So I want you to go back and find the cloud that you were on. And I want you to get on that cloud. And you're going to start drifting and floating. Floating and drifting. Drifting and floating. Where we're going to find the most appropriate place to stop and look in and examine. We're going to stop and look at and examine the most appropriate place where we can find answers for Sharon. And as the cloud is drifting and floating, floating and drifting, it's going to come to a stop. And I want you to drift slowly down to the surface. And it's not going to be anything sudden. And as you're slowly making it to the surface, I want you to tell me what you see.
I don't see anything. It's just like a fog. It's just white.
This white fog. And what does that feel like? What do you feel like in this fog?
Lost.
Okay. Do you feel any kind of energy?
I feel neutral.
Okay. Does the fog have any color in it?
It's just white.
White fog. Are you alone or with someone else?
Alone.
You don't feel anybody else with you.
Mm-mm.
Do you feel any temperature?
Feels warm.
Okay. Any sounds or any other feelings?
There's like an energy buzzing. Like an electric whine.
Okay. I want you to connect. I want you to connect with the fog. I want you to connect with that energy and ask the fog why it's there.
It's the protection energy field.
Protection from what?
That I put around myself.
Okay. And as we very well know, we don't need that protection because Sharon is here to find some answers. So we need for that fog to clear. And I want you to see the fog starting to clear. And it's slowly going to clear. And things will come into your vision that you're able to see because now the fog is lifting. Because it's no longer needed. And I want you to tell me what you see.
I see a tunnel. Like an opening into the sky.
Okay. Where are you in this tunnel?
I'm at one end looking through it.
Okay. And what do you see at the end of the tunnel?
It's just darkness. You can't see the end.
So is the light behind you or in front of you?
Behind.
Okay. So how do you feel? How does the tunnel make you feel?
Curious.
All right, let's go. You want to go explore the tunnel?
Yeah, I see yellow lights at the end, kind of shining through it.
Let's go see what it is. I want you to move forward in time and move through that tunnel over to the yellow lights. What do you see when you're there now?
I see shapes like birds. Of light. Yellow, white. Flying. Wings.
They're made of light.
It looks like it.
Wow, they must be absolutely beautiful. What are the birds doing?
They're gone now. And I'm looking. It's like a vortex or something.
Tell me more.
It keeps shifting around. And the colors change. Like now it's purple.
What keeps shifting around?
The size of the hole and the size of the vortex. It's kind of, I don't know if it's vibrating or it's not stable.
Okay.
It's like a means of travel, but you have to catch it just right.
Are you inside the vortex?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move forward in time where the vortex takes you somewhere. So imagine going forward in time and you're there. What has happened?
I see like crystal shapes and lights. Yellow crystals with lights coming out of the tops of them.
Are they floating in the air, or where are these crystals?
They don't seem to be attached to anything.
They're floating in the air?
Maybe. I can't tell. Everything is very shimmery. So nothing really looks attached to anything.
Okay.
It doesn't look solid. It's like
So I want you to connect to those crystals. I want you to connect with their energy and ask them why they're here. Why are they showing themselves to you?
I see them all around, and there's purple. There's a purple orb in the middle. It's like I'm underneath them. I'm under the crystals in the ground, kind of pushing the purple orb out of the ground. And the crystals are like pulsating in energy. And the orbs like pop up.
Are the orbs moving on their own? Can they move on their own?
They can, but they need the energy of the crystals to help them move. The crystals propel them.
Okay. And why are the crystals showing themselves to you?
It's more of a perspective of being underneath them, like I am the earth looking up instead of being on top of the ground looking down. I feel what it's like to be part of the planet.
And what does it feel like to be part of the planet?
I feel connected to everything, and I feel very solid.
Okay. Do you do something with the planet? Do you help the planet in any way? Are you part of the planet?
I feel that I am. I feel very comfortable down here, like it's where I belong.
Okay. So let's connect to Gaia. I want you to connect to Gaia's soul, to Gaia's spirit. And let's talk to her and ask her, how does Sharon connect to you?
I am part of Gaia.
You are part of Gaia. What do you do for her as part of her? Do you do something for her, or?
My energy connects from the ground deep inside to the grid up above. It's an energy passage, a connection, like a spider web.
So Sharon is the connection from Gaia to the energy grid.
Yes, like a energy cell, one of many.
An energy cell. And her job is to move energy from Gaia to the magnetic grid.
It is Gaia's grid.
Gaia's grid.
It's more like passing knowledge. It's
What knowledge is being passed?
emotionals.
What else?
There's a balance trying to be reached. It's a fluctuating balance between the grid and the earth.
And what's Sharon's job? What is her job?
To connect.
Okay.
to stay connected. And she breaks the connection. She loses an input that she needs.
How does she break the connection?
By being absorbed into negative emotions and energy.
What happens when she breaks the connection?
She turns gray and sinks down to be nurtured and absorb energy. She wants to stay down into the ground, down deep, like a womb.
So how can she make sure that she stays connected all the time, even if she has negative energy around her?
She needs to reach up with her arms and think of the light and think of electricity coming out of her fingers. Think of roots coming out of her feet to connect deep where she is the most comfortable.
So is this why she feels there's a negative force energy on the planet right now? Is it that she's disconnected, or is there actually an energy field that is affecting the planet?
There is an energy field affecting the planet.
And why? Who's creating that energy field?
I think it was brought here from an ancient race.
Are you able to tell me who? Which race?
The Anunnakis.
Why did they put this negative energy field on the planet?
To subdue the humans, to do their bidding.
To control them.
Yeah.
How can we get rid of this negative energy? How can we help?
It takes mass consciousness of light working together. Many are doing it now.
Are we making any progress in removing this energy?
Yes, but it's going to get darker before it gets light.
Is there any way we can stop that from happening?
It's already in motion. To get lighter, you have to be sunk into the dark deeper, and then you'll be propelled into the light. It's a choice.
So is there any way we can make sure that we are not affected by this negative energy?
Purging thoughts, being conscious of the dark negative thoughts in your own head, purging them, not letting dark seeds take root. Don't let them grow on an individual level. Each person has to do this on their own, though.
Correct. So we have to foster a positive mindset.
Constantly.
Is this what's affecting her since she can't think clearly? She's obsessed with negative thoughts. What is causing that?
Not purging the dark thoughts will give them roots. And when they start growing like a weed, if you keep fertilizing them with other dark thoughts, then they're growing bigger and bigger and kind of take over the garden of your thoughts.
Are there any thought forms attached to her that are negative?
They attach, and then she purges them, but they don't go far, and then they creep up and attach again. It's a constant surging.
Is this why she can't think clearly then?
Yes.
Is the protection that she's using helping her? Because it sounds like it's not helping her if it's still creating the negative thought. The energy field should go where?
Dissipate. It's no longer needed. It was built from fear. It blocks some out, blocks some things in, but it's just not needed anymore.
Okay, so we can release those and remove them?
Yes.
Okay. Are you doing that now?
Yes.
Thank you. She was also mentioning that her back needs to be healed. What's going on with her back?
Lack of support. She feels there's no support. No one backs her.
Okay. How can we heal that for her?
Make it strong. Make your body strong. Find support in yourself. You don't need support in anyone else.
That is correct. So I would like to ask for the subconscious to heal her back right now. Now that she knows what she needs to do to stop her back from getting worse again. Can you do that, please? Can you heal it now?
Yes.
Thank you. What are you doing to fix it?
Surrounding the area in amethyst and white light.
Why amethyst?
It's very healing.
Okay. How about her left shoulder? It pops in and out and it's very, very painful. Why is that hurting?
It's a hindrance. Stop from moving. Stop moving. Don't move.
So the message is for her to stop moving?
She has to fight through that. She wants to stop moving. She has to go forward. She has to go forward through the pain.
So is the pain there to remind her of something or because she feels a certain way?
The pain is an excuse not to go forward. She wants to stop and nurture the pain and thinks that she has to be still to do this.
So why don't we go ahead and heal that today for her? Let's heal her left shoulder.
Okay.
So that that doesn't stop her and she can move forward. Let me know when it's been healed.
Okay.
Has her back been healed as well?
It's doing good now.
Can you do a full body scan and tell me if there are anything else you can see that needs to be healed or brought up? Any outside energies that do not belong to her?
No outside energies.
How about her health? Is there anything else we need to heal for her health?
It's okay.
Okay. We want to contact the woman that came to her when she was a teenager. The woman that came to her to ask her to name her baby. Can you please bring her to us so we can speak to her? Are you able to find her?
I can see a woman's face very up close.
Can you ask her her name?
Her name is Anima.
Okay. So she's here now. Sharon, what did you want to talk to her about?
The children.
So Anima, can you tell us about her pregnancies when she was a teenager? Were those hybrid children that were born?
Yes.
What are their names?
Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Q. Dominique. The 3.
So every pregnancy that she had as a teenager, they were all hybrid children.
Yes.
Was she pregnant after the abduction? The abduction she had when she was in vacation when she was 19.
Yes.
What is the name of that baby?
That is Q.
Okay. Did she agree to do this before she came?
Yes.
Are these abductions that she's had real abductions or from our government?
Both.
Which ones are from the government? How many times has the government abducted her?
Twice.
Okay. Why?
They had reverse engineered technology about the tracking chips.
But why do they feel like they have to abduct people?
They were trying to see if some were special with special abilities that they could use.
Did they do anything to her when they abducted her?
They performed different tests mentally, emotionally.
Have those affected her in her life?
Yes.
How?
She has trouble knowing what to believe. Her memories get scrambled. There's holes in her timelines that she doesn't know what happened. People that she can't remember. Life is like a dream. Just float with it and don't fight it.
Is that something that you also contract before you come? Is that something that she agreed to do with the government before she came?
No.
Okay. How were they able to find her?
Through the tracking chip.
That the aliens have put in?
Mm-hmm.
How do they have access to that information?
Through the reverse engineered ships. The ships that they have found.
Does the government tamper with the chips that are implanted by the aliens?
Only in the way that they can track people and they know who has been abducted. They know who the aliens have been interested in and who might have been used for different projects.
Are they able to get people pregnant like the aliens can?
They have knowledge of genetic engineering and are doing this and have been for quite some time, but for different purposes.
What is their purpose?
War games, power.
Why is it that the aliens cannot stop this from happening? Why can't they change the implant to not be able to provide the information to the government?
They didn't foresee that problem, but many have removed implants.
I think the best thing to do would be to remove all implants and replant new implants that the government cannot reach.
But the whole program has come to an end now, so it's not really necessary anymore.
So they're no longer abducting people?
The hybrid children are no longer being developed.
Why is that?
we are in the process of raising the hybrid children that have been already born.
Okay. So does that mean Sharon is no longer being abducted?
Correct.
So currently there are no abductions ongoing anymore.
There are, for different reasons, and probably always will be.
Okay.
But they're not always a bad thing.
Well, those children don't get to be with their mother. So it's always a bad thing.
The children belong to everyone.
Are her children growing up to be normal children where they're not affected by the fact that they can't be with their mother?
They don't look at it that way. I am their mother, she is their mother, you are their mother. Everyone is connected.
I see.
It's a big family, not little broken up families. They are all brother and sister to each other, and they have a connection in that way.
How are her children? Where are they?
The boys are on the ship. Tiffany is on another ship.
What do they do?
They're in the process of learning about Earth, about Earthlings, about why they're doing what they're doing, trying to understand, hoping to one day mingle.
What type of aliens are they?
Dominic is part reptilian. He has a type of scaling to his skin that's quite beautiful with different colors, blues and greens. She likes to touch them, touch his face. He is happy to be connected to her. Q is learning not to be fearful of her emotions. She frightens him sometimes. He's a very sensitive child who is horrified at the things she eats and is very fearful and withdrawn at angry emotions. He keeps to himself.
And what kind of alien is he?
He is Ashokani human hybrid.
Ashokani?
Yes. He has the big dark eyes, no hair, tiny nose, little mouth, as you would say the grays, but the skin's not gray. The skin is very pale, whitish, pinkish.
Okay.
He's very small, very quiet, shy.
And Tiffany?
Tiffany is on a different ship. She's an explorer. She's a lot like her mom. She likes to go to different places. She's very interested in other planets and explores, brings back rocks and plants, investigates worlds to be inhabited at a future date.
And what kind of alien is she?
She is a human gray cross.
Okay.
Her head's a bit bigger, with huge eyes, beautiful eyes. Flaming brown red hair, and has a wild, adventurous spirit.
Mm. And how do these children know what their mom eats and what she feels like when she's angry? How are they able to connect to her that way?
She opens up and lets them in at different times so they can experience what human emotions are like. And they pick up different things when they are tuned in to her. Things that she doesn't even know that they're picking up. She's intentionally giving them some information, and they're picking up bits and pieces of other information that is attached to what she is giving them intentionally.
Mm. Okay.
They can feel through her, they can smell, they can taste, they can temporarily see what she is like being as a human in a human body.
Okay. But they can only connect when she's open.
Yes.
Okay. And does she know when she's open and when she's not?
Sometimes. Sometimes it's intentional. A lot of times it's done in the sleep state,
Ah,
and she
okay.
might not even remember it.
Okay. So can you tell us when she's been abducted by you and when it happened, the times it happened and how it happened?
When her family moved to the farmhouse, it was often. And there were other times afterwards.
So, what times does she feel like she couldn't account for the time where it was missing time? Was it every time or just sometimes?
We came to her mainly in the sleep state, so she would not even know. No one would know. When the fetuses were taken, they were in the sleep state. She never knew.
So, she's no longer going to be abducted, correct?
Correct.
Who are we speaking to?
Anima.
Oh, we're still talking to you. Fantastic. What is your relationship to her?
I am her friend, a good friend. We've known each other for a long time.
What star system is Sharon from?
She is from Sirius.
Does she have any family there right now?
She lived in a place where they stayed isolated. Those of her kind seldom met up. They stayed solitary. They would perch on steep cliffs. Feet were like claws. Black wings. Huge wings. See several in the distance. They like to soar together, but they very seldom communicate.
And this is Sharon and who else?
This is her tribe.
Her tribe. So I have a question regarding the abduction she had when she was 19 and she was on vacation with her girlfriend. She was dropped off at a different location clear across the state. Why was she not dropped off back where she was abducted?
That whole thing did not happen the way it was supposed to happen. There was a major problem. She physically went into a state of shock. and had to be transported to a place where we could care for her in a suspended state.
Okay, so why couldn't she be dropped off where she was picked up?
Her body was. She got into a car and was driving, but her consciousness was not in her body. It was just moving. The body was moving like a robot. The consciousness was not infused within the body. It did not transport properly.
So it was just that her consciousness appeared in her body when she already was across the state.
Her body drove. Her consciousness was not inside the body. It was reacting from a automated state. But her essence, her soul, was not inside of it. They had somehow become disconnected through the transporting process.
But I thought she had said that she had to call her friend to come pick her up.
She went to jail. The consciousness was put back into the body successfully, and when she connected, she realized she was behind the wheel of a car, had no idea where she was, and made a wrong turn from a wrong lane and got pulled over by the police. They took her to jail, and she was very confused and is still in a state of shock and confusion. And she called her friend from the jail.
How come her friend wasn't with her when she was driving?
She went on a date. She was somewhere else. Her friend wasn't with her. She was alone when we picked her up.
Was she driving somewhere when you picked her up?
No. She was at her hotel. She was going to the car, and we called her name. And she started back up the steps, and we took her, brought her up to the ship.
So then how was she able to drive the car if she was already abducted into the ship?
When we put her back down on the planet, thinking she was okay to go, but she was not. We did not realize she'd become disconnected. Her body was driving the car before we realized it.
Oh.
We had to energetically inject the soul back towards the body and hope that it would reconnect.
Okay.
There had been no reconnection, she would have been pronounced dead in the car.
Oh my God.
Sometimes things do not happen as we expect them to.
Wow.
But it's okay now.
Yeah, thank God. Is her family also part of the abduction process? Are they also, or were they also being abducted when she was being abducted?
The brother was twice and has hybrid children. He is not aware of any of it.
Okay. What about her parents?
The father played a role from the very beginning, but he was not involved with the hybrid children program.
Okay. What can you tell us about what is going on with the government and them trying to create a war, an ET war? Are you all aware that they're doing that?
Yes. There are alternate Earths, there are alternate programs. Some will experience an ET war, some will not.
Mm. And it will be all done by them, correct?
Yes, it will be an illusion made by your government.
Is it only the United States government or are other governments involved?
There are others involved. And it's really not your government as you know it. Many of them have no idea what's going on. There are secret organizations at work and have been for some time.
So is this being orchestrated by the rich? Or by the government?
Well, not by your government or by the rich. If I understand what you mean, it's their money is funneled through different organizations that really don't know where their money is going. Some know, some do not. It changes daily. Some have good intentions, some do not. It would be best to focus on a future that you would like to have and don't get baited up into the fear factors.
Okay, that makes sense. So the less I talk about it, the less the chance of it happening to me.
We create things from our minds. We create our realities.
We do. So is that what Sharon and I need to do so that we don't experience that? Is to imagine ourselves in a beautiful earth where the things like that do not happen?
Yes, that is her job as a connection from the earth, down in the earth, down deep in the earth, spreading up to the grid, is to spread that kind of energy, that kind of bliss and joy of a beautiful earth, and not get sucked down into the negativity and the destruction.
Okay. So would you agree that she should probably not be watching any news or anything having to do with Trump or anything having to do with the negative media?
Yes, it's all show to affect your emotions, and it works. The emotional state is the most important part, not the words that get you into that state, but the actual state, the actual feeling. It's an energetic state that is the most important. The feelings that you're putting out can change everything.
So how can Sharon be what can Sharon do to be in a happy state more often?
Take a little tiny look at what makes you happy at that moment and do it. And it grows into a little bit happier state, and it builds and it builds until you reach joy. And the more you can stay in that kind of emotional state, the bigger it will grow, just as it does in negativity. When you think of a negative thought, it breeds another negative thought that grows and grows. So you have to kill the negative thoughts and think of the positive ones. Think of the light. Think of things that make you happy. Little things, and then grow from there. Constantly follow your joy.
Well, it's easy to say for us to follow the joy, but we have to pay the bills. The bills have to be paid somehow.
Mm-hmm. Everything works out in the end. The things that you think that you need might not be things that you need, but things that you want. Sometimes you go through some rocky paths to realize that you really didn't need all those things, and you're better off without them anyway.
Mm. So how many times has Sharon incarnated?
Imprinted? I'm not sure I understand the question.
How many times has she incarnated her soul, how many times has it been in spirit?
I see stories. They're just short stories, and they're not truly lifetimes at all. They're like pop-ins just to experience one thing, but not a lifetime as you know it.
So is this her first full human incarnation?
Yes.
Okay. And so why did she decide to have a human incarnation?
To participate in the Hybrid Children's Program, to experience the darkness of the planet Earth, to learn, to experience. There are certain types of energy needed on the planet at this time. And many came from their homes where they never leave to donate their energy to Gaia.
So is she a volunteer? What Dolores Cannon used to call a volunteer?
Yeah, she volunteered to come here. She sat and thought about it for a long time because it was very unpleasant for her. She brooded on it. And came.
Has she learned the lessons that she came to learn?
She's learned many lessons and has many more to learn. They never stop.
Who was responsible for her coming here?
She had free will. She was responsible herself.
But who put the thought in my head to call her and tell her to come?
The Sasani race, Anima's race, they communicated. Everyone knew what was going on. They're all connected. They all know. Not all care. And many have their own agendas. She's connected to Gaia and feels strongly of the earth.
Okay. And was there a reason that they chose me?
don't know. I suppose you would have to look within yourself.
Okay. Do you have any other messages for Sharon?
You focus better on your work when you're not in a relationship. You don't need to be in a relationship. You don't need to be half of a couple. You are a whole all by yourself. You connect better in the spiritual realms when you're not distracted by outside forces, such as the needs of a mate. You're in a position now to be more spiritual and to head into a different area of your life. You can make it what you want it. Just concentrate on your path and flow down it. Don't make it difficult. Step lightly with no fear. All will be as it should be, and you will be able to connect. No fear.
So Anima, where are you right now? What are you in a star system? Are you also in Sirius?
On a ship above your planet, over the western part of the United States.
So is it true that we are going to be able to see some alien ships in the future? That there's some type of coming out party where we'll be able to see you?
You will be able to see. Many will not.
Why is that?
They do not have the belief system within them to see what's in front of their eyes. The brains will shut down and they just will refuse to see.
So I know that Sharon wants to see you guys. She wants to be able to actually see the ship or see the orbs or see you physically. How can she do that?
To get away from where she is, to be isolated in the wilderness where we could contact her peacefully.
And how does she call you? How does she call you to come over? to show yourself?
We will give her the crystal with the portals in it. She will find it.
Is that why she's going to Arkansas?
Yes.
And that's where she'll find it?
Yes.
Is there anything specific she needs to do with these crystals?
Just gaze into them, and they transfer you to other dimensions. They're portals in the crystals, windows in the crystals. They have a certain vibration. You can match the vibration as you're staring into the portals.
Okay. Can she also use those crystals to talk to her children?
Yes, but she doesn't need crystals to talk to her children.
Okay.
They hear her. She just has to place the intention. They are always tuned to her.
Okay. So the aliens that came out in the painting she gave me, who are they? Are there anybody specific, or are they for me? Were they for me?
The tall white and the three little grays. They're meant for you.
How are they connected to me?
They're energetic beings that you have known before you came here into your body. They are connected to you as they travel with you through your adventure on the planet Earth.
Was their idea to have a stronger connection with me while they're here and to help me with what I'm going through, or what's the reason behind them coming into my home in the painting?
They connect to you on a spiritual level. They want to feel what you feel. You agreed before you came here to let them do that. Not all energetic beings want to come into a body onto planet Earth. You're very brave, and you offered to let them feel what it feels like through you, and they are connected to you in that way. You are teaching in this manner those that don't want to come to Earth and be in a body. They can experience it through you.
Okay.
There's a deep love on this level, and you are all connected as we are all connected.
Okay. Is there anything or any place that this painting should go?
I think you will feel it as you move it around the right place where you want it, to remind you of your connection to your astral family. And you can feel the love that they feel for you and the appreciation for what you've done.
How lovely.